Welcome everybody to my newest Let's Play, Star Tropics 2, Zoda's Revenge, for the Nintendo Wii. It's a port of the game for the regular Nintendo, with just one major change. Like Star Tropics 1 where they ran out of the copyright for Yo-Yo, they ran out of the copyright for Tetris and Tetrad, so they changed it to blocks and puzzles in this game. So here we have our cast, Mr. Tumnus again. He's the hero of the story. In Star Tropics 1, Mr. Tumnus went on a tropical journey, and he ended up saving his uncles and 7 space children from evil aliens. And a few months have passed now, and everything seems to be back to normal. But we will see that it is not back to normal. Here's Mr. Tumnus' uncle, Dr. Jones, a famous scientist. He found the escape pod of 7 space children while he was exploring some lost ruins in the South Seas. He's now at his stateside lab trying to decode the strange cipher which he found on the escape pod. Once he does decode the cipher, our hero, Mr. Tumnus, could likely find himself in the midst of another adventure. Oh, he will. And here is Micah, the oldest of the space children, and a princess, the daughter of Hirokon, the leader of the Argonia. Micah and the others were sent away by Hirokon to escape Zoda. He was the big bad alien, big purple alien. She has the leadership qualities of her father, as well as some newly discovered powers of a mystical nature. As Mr. Tumnus is sent on his new journey, it is Micah who will send him important information from home. So, here we are, Star Tropics 2. We have saw a bunch of returning characters. Once again, our hero will be Mr. Tumnus. Now, unlike, while a lot of characters are returning, what is not going to return is the setting of this game, where in Star Tropics 1 it was mainly in the tropics, except for the final 2 chapters where we're on the alien spaceship. In this one, we'll be warping around through time to both historical and fictional places. So, this is Mr. Tumnus. He's back in Seattle. Do you remember my uncle? Maybe you should read the manual to understand. My uncle is Dr. Jones, a tropical archaeologist. We call him Dr. J. He's now in Seattle, busy decoding the rest of that cipher from the tropics. So yeah, Mr. Tumnus broke the fourth wall there, right away. This game's a little less serious than Star Tropics 1. Like I said, they break the 4th wall. There's, like, some more comedy in it. Especially here with, Mr. Tumnus and Micah. The whole gimmick with the, the telephone and telepathy. So the game's a little less serious, which is maybe one of the reasons why I don't necessarily like it as much. Plus the setting isn't as interesting. You're warping around, so there's more variety in the setting, but you just don't have that feel that the first game had. There's also some other changes to the game that I will discuss once we get into it, but for now, let's just continue to see Mr. Tumnus here. So, there's Dr. Jones, very, very busy, trying to decode that cipher. He says the cipher is very tough, but actually it can't be that tough because, well, based on that clue that Micah told Mr. Tumnus, you'll see that it's pretty easy to decipher. That clue was it a cat I saw, was it a rat I saw? So, tell the story, see the blah blah blah. Hogan said, was the cat I saw, was the rat I saw? Get it? Well, if we say no, then Dr. Jones will help explain it a little bit, so let's just say no. So if we look at it, he's going to go through it backwards here. Basically, what you notice is this is a palindrome, which means it's a word or phrase spelled the same backwards and forwards. So basically, Hirokon is saying, reverse the cipher. So, let's see if this works. So, for some reason, he says, even though they're decoding a cipher on an alien spaceship, he says to get this book, the Oxford World Wonder. Not explain how I got this book, what it's for, what it does. Basically just an excuse plot to get you to travel back in time when you read this cipher. So, don't know why, isn't explained. I guess a lot of stuff in this game really isn't explained. So, the story is, like I said, less, I guess, coherent. Just trying to think of a word there. Like I said, you're just jumping around from time to time. So the first time we're going to jump here is, somewhere cold. What happened? Where am I? It's like being in a sci-fi movie. Ooh, gotta keep moving. Mr. Tums decides to look around. Looks like he's in prehistoric times, cavemen times. Behind his many holes ahead, watch they're hidden by snow. Watch per step. So yeah, we have this little area here. Overworld, just like in Star Tropics 1. So once again, it borrows heavily from Zelda, but we'll notice that it also borrows heavily from Zelda 3. This is one of the last games released on the Nintendo. Only Wario's Woods was released after it. And by this time, they had Zelda 3 for the Super Nintendo, A Link to the Past released. And in that game, you can move diagonally, unlike the squares they can only move in Star Tropics 1 and Zelda 1. So in this game, we're going to be able to move diagonally in the dungeons. That makes platforming a lot harder. I am a caveman I am. Oh my, he looks so much like my son. Oh, poor Shorty, sob, sob. Someday a reliever shall come from the south. Our village awaits him. So, yeah, so you'll see that makes platforming a lot harder because you can move diagonally. Makes jumping a lot more difficult, where you really wouldn't miss jumps in the first game. Because, you know, you basically just were jumping in squares. But this game, much more difficult. So that's another reason why I don't necessarily like this game as much. He's Pizzacco, a great artist, and I'm his buddy. We tried to fight Yum Yum, but it was terrible. Picasso's not said a word since. Almost like Picasso. What a cave painting. That little code on there, the shapes, that's going to be the way to get through a maze in Yum Yum's cave. Yum Yum is going to be the first boss of this game, in the first major dungeon. Now, there were some tinier dungeons in that snowfield. If you would have fell in one of the holes, what would have happened is you would have been put into a little small little little mini dungeon, maybe 3 or 4 rooms. And there'd be a bunch of boars that you'd have to, you know, avoid, or you'd find rocks to throw at them, so... once again, like in this game, you have your weapons, but we're not going to have the yo-yo or the island star. We're going to get projectile weapons. The first of which is this one over here, Tink's axe. I'm Tink. I make tools from bones and stones. Try using my axe. Yeah, we get an axe. We also get some sub-weapons. And then later on, we'll also get psychic powers. So, but for now, we just got the little axe. Yum Yum lives to the north, better not go there. Ah, Mr. Tumnus, you've come from the south. You must be the one from my prophecy. It says the South Par reliever will come one day. Are you the one? No. Oh, you're a right-hander and a starting pitcher? Yeah, see, they're it's kind of silly, you know. It's okay, we can change our lineup. A month ago, a man-munching monster, Yum Yum, gobbled down our children. Our best cavemen tried in vain to stop Yum Yum. No more victims. I ask you to drive Yum Yum from the land. Only you, Mr. Tumnus, the South Par reliever. So, yep, but, yeah, if we just say yes, then he just goes back into that whole story, but, yeah, see, they kind of, like, didn't take themselves seriously, you know, the whole, South Par reliever, because in the game, the character Mike, who Mr. Tumnus is supposed to be a high school pitcher, and he's a left-hander, so, not a starting pitcher, but, yeah, they changed it up, so. Alright, let's go, once again, overworld here. No luck hunting today. What do you mean, no luck hunting? The people in the cave said there was good hunting and they had a boar. Guess another throwback to Star Tropics 1, where they, you know, the person said they're gonna have to roast a boar for our arrival on Sea Island. But here's our arrival in the first major dungeon, and that's what we'll pick up in our next episode. I'll show off stuff there. Take care, have a good one, thanks for following along. Come back and, watch Mr. Tumnus take on, challenges through time. Bye.